Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. How's Eddie Frederick?
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Monday, 14th October 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Police in Trinidad and Tobago pledged to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law the two police officers involved in kidnapping and murder. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Two police officers charged with kidnapping and murder were denied bail when they appeared in court on Friday. More in this TTT News item.
Ashraf Mohammed and Jason Michael appeared at the North Magistrates Court charged with the kidnapping and murder of businessman Sashal Kunjbihari. Kunjbihari was abducted on Wednesday, September 25th, near Endeavour Road Extension, Chaguanas, by three masked men using a marked police vehicle. Two of the men were dressed in police tactical uniform and one was dressed in civilian clothing. Kunjbihari's body was discovered by police on Thursday, October 3rd. Crime scene investigators positively identified the body utilizing finger impressions. The Deputy Commissioner of Police Investigations and Intelligence says the actions of a few officers have shaken the foundation of trust in the police service.
For our country and for all of us who wear the badge, let me be clear. This is not just a betrayal of the victims and their families. It is a betrayal of the trust that you, the public, have placed in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
DCP Martin is assuring that no one is above the law. She says there is a zero-tolerance approach and officers who abuse their authority will be held accountable to the fullest extent.
Charging these officers was not just a legal decision, but a moral one. It's a reflection of our commitment to the rule of law and to the values we are sworn to uphold. The badge should symbolize integrity, fairness, and protection. When that symbol is tarnished by violence, it is our duty to act swiftly and fairly.
In the meantime, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister is pained over the state of violence in the Twin Island Republic. He has broken his silence on the murder of a Barrack-poor mother and her toddler, as well as the tragic death of Princess Town schoolboy Jaden Lalchan. CNC3's Derice Polo has this report.
The tragic suicide of 15-year-old St. Stephen's College student Jaden Lalchan has saddened the Prime Minister, who utilized his contribution to the budget debate to join other politicians in offering condolences to the boy's family. But Dr. Rowley says he had little time to digest that news when he learned that a man murdered Tara Geeta Ramsaroop and her 1-year-old daughter, Jada Mutilal. He could not fathom reports suggesting the suspect, now in custody, had plans to kill another relative.
For God's sake, suppose he had got to that school and had killed that second child in and among the other school children. Madam Speaker, what is going on in our society? And we have no control over the thought of criminal conduct. We can only respond to them after they've done it.
Though upset over that incident, Dr. Rowley dismissed those who called for him to resign as a result.
What does that horrendous act have to do with the assignment of Prime Minister?
Meanwhile, turning his attention to growing conflict in the Middle East, Dr. Rowley assures that the government is working to create a mechanism to control the return and entry of Trinidad and Tobago nationals from conflict zones abroad.
So that would require a special majority in that legislation. And today I am instructing the Attorney General to speak to all members on the other side, especially those who have indicated, and as the draft is ready, to make the draft available to them, and we will see who will come to this house and support it so we can advance that.
He says a slew of legislation will be brought to Parliament, starting with the Tobago Self-Governance Bill. And the Prime Minister is challenging the opposition to support it, as well as other legislation, including a bill to approve the operations of undercover cops and ban the use of assault weapons. This, he hopes, will help protect and improve the lives of nationals. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
A major effort is being undertaken to speed up the current lengthy and frustrating process of property transactions endured by locals and non-Barbadians. CBC's Anesta Henry has this report.
Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley says government is planning to make it easier for Barbadians to own a piece of the rock. That's the reason behind the government's first colloquium on transforming the land transaction process in Barbados. Prime Minister Motley is convinced that digitizing, simplifying, and speeding up the transaction process are vital to attracting international investors and helping Barbadians to realize their dream of becoming land and home owners.
Everybody needs shelter. And everybody should have the right to have security of shelter. And it should be affordable, and it should be accessible in good time. And if we continue to make the cost of land transactions as difficult, as high as they are, and if we continue to make the process even more than the cost, the process as difficult as it is, then we will have failed in this generation.
The Prime Minister is advising industry experts from the public and private sectors that they have a key role to play in investigating and solving issues surrounding land transactions, conveyances, and other hindrances.
You are the ones who have the knowledge. I am using one thing here, my power as Prime Minister to convene, because the time has come for us to put these things behind us. This meeting today will not be the end of the process. In fact, for you on this side of it, it is the beginning of the deconstruction and the reconstruction. For me, we have put down investments earlier to prepare for this day. The time has come, however, for us now to use the collective expertise in this room to deconstruct and reconstruct and to give the average Bajan the not promise, the reality.
Scores of participants, including members of the public, attended the event hosted by the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Maintenance and chaired by Prime Minister Motley. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
a new round of musical chairs and just plain ridiculous. St. Lucia's human rights lawyer Mary Francis's response to an announcement by the acting police commissioner of new inquiries into the cases of alleged extrajudicial police killings in the Vieux Fort 5, Reginald Jean and Jacqueline Daniel. According to Francis, who has been closely following the matters over the past decade, she's simply tired of the games. Zane Romulus of the DBS News World reports.
To my mind, this is a travesty of justice.
When will this thing end? Human rights lawyer Mary Francis has asked. She is livid over the news that the police will reopen investigations into two of the pending cases related to Operation Restore Confidence, that of the alleged 2011 police killings of Reginald Jean and the Vieux-Fort 5. The arrests of the police officers implicated in the alleged extrajudicial killings have been previously recommended by the Director of Public Prosecutions, Dasrin Green. However, the Acting Commissioner of Police, Vanguard, announced on Wednesday that he would advise the Attorney General to reopen an inquest citing additional evidence.
Mr. Dasrin Green, having the files carefully, going through, having the police themselves, investigators, going through the files, and despite his 19th of June statement to the media, where he advised that the matter should go through the courts. And after a full-fledged inquest concerning the Vieux-Fort 5, which ended in June 2016 with the decision of unlawful killing by the jury, I don't understand. What is the basis of his advice, so-called advice to the Attorney General to reopen the inquest after 13 years?
Francis has expressed her disappointment in the new acting commissioner, asserting that this course of action will not help in his plans to reduce crime.
How can crime end in St. Lucia? That is the posture of the police. No. And I watch carefully the newscast, the commissioner with his head bent, eyes shifting, and even difficulty in finding the words to explain his decision. It leads to the conclusion that the police commissioner did not believe himself in his course of action, and that he's been influenced by some other parties. I don't know if that is part of protecting the victory. I don't know, but it leads me to conclude that this thing is based. He did not come to this decision on his own.
The human rights lawyer is even more astounded that state resources will, according to her, be further wasted to conduct a second inquest into the 2013 death of Shakadan Daniel. A 2015 inquest ruled that Daniel, who was found hanging in a prison cell at the Miku police station, was unlawfully killed. Unless there was an irregularity, there should be no reason for another inquest, says Francis. For the DBS News World, I am Zaid Romculus.
Kenya's President William Ruto announced 600 more Kenyan police officers would be deployed to Haiti and urged the international community to rally behind a UN-backed mission to tackle gang violence in the Caribbean nation. Details in this Reuters news item.
Kenya will send 600 more police officers to tackle gang violence in Haiti next month. That announcement was made by President William Ruto during a visit by the Haitian Prime Minister. Gary Coney was in Kenya following a massacre by members of the Grand Grief gang. At least 115 people in a farming region were killed, according to a local mayor. It was one of Haiti's deadliest attacks in recent years. Kenyan security forces are in Haiti as part of a UN-backed Kenya-led mission. At a press conference on Friday, Coney praised the response by police and Kenyan officers to the massacre, as well as the deployment in general.
The first deployments of Kenyan contingents in Haiti have been extremely helpful, useful, professional, committed. They've engaged almost immediately, side by side with the police force.
At least 10 countries have promised to send a total of around 2,900 troops to tackle violence in Haiti. But only about 430 have deployed since the mission got underway in June. Nearly 400 of them are from Kenya. Meanwhile, heavily armed gangs, which control most of the capital, Port-au-Prince, have continued to gain territory. Over 700,000 people in Haiti have fled their homes, according to the United Nations. Over 5 million, nearly half the population, are going hungry. In Nairobi on Friday, Ruto said the mission was improving security in Haiti. But he also called on the international community to match their pledges with the necessary action to complete the task ahead of us.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. reassurance we give. It's so glad to see peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family, yes we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.